Welcome back to Viewer's Voice. In this episode, I'm going to talk more specifically on relationships between one partner and another partner, not family relationships or friend relationships, but more intimate ones. And just basically how you and your partner can sort of work on the relationship and some things to always hone in on and focus on that I feel like a lot of people either lack or forget the importance of. Now, I think it's important to automatically understand what your love languages are, as well as what your five most important traits and key aspects and characteristics of your ideal relationship are. And what I mean by that is just what are five things to you that are highly important within your relationship. So for me, well, not in order currently, but I can say that my five most important things would consist of being affectionate, so like loving, being honest, having trust within each other, having great proper communication, and boundaries, right? I could probably think of something else to replace boundaries, but boundaries are very much important in a relationship because it's important to understand what your partner may dislike, have your partner understand what you may dislike, and have a clear understanding of what you as well as your partner can do to avoid crossing any lines or boundaries that would ultimately create unnecessary chaos, arguments, and drama. So those are my five mainly important things to, at least for me, that I would want my relationship to always keep the importance of and understand that these are the things that we need in order to hold and build a prosperous relationship, to say the least. And to break each of these down, right, loving is obviously very important because you wouldn't want to have a relationship where there's just no love, where there's no affection, where there's just no attraction overall to one another. Now, for me, love consists of various things. It's not just a matter of being intimate and affectionate towards your partner. Love carries in, yes, like being loyal to your partner, understanding your partner. It can also tie into a little bit of trust in your partner. Just overall fall in love with your partner every day. So that's not something that you feel you're losing, right? Love holds a lot of characteristics in my definition anyways. That's why for me it's always going to be number one. Now, honesty, of course, you don't want to be dishonest with your partner because the minute you lie about one thing, in their eyes, you could be lying about anything else. Especially if you lie about very small little details, that can also be just as bad because if you're willing to lie about something so tiny, then that just goes to show you could be lying about anything that's huge. Now, there's things called white lies, of course, like if your partner asks what you ate today, you just lie and just say you ate pizza when you either didn't eat at all today or you had a salad, right? Things like that. Now, those aren't crazy bizarre, but even then, they still count as lies. But yes, being dishonest with your partner, even slightly, can be very crucial and very negative in the long run because even if it's something that they may dislike, just talk it out with them. Be honest with them so that they know, because you wouldn't want to be like, oh, I'm at a party, and then forget to mention that there's a bunch of opposite sex there, and then your partner has to find out from other people, and then now it's like they're questioning you because you didn't mention that factor, right? And now you create an unnecessary argument and drama, right? Thirdly, the whole trust factor. It is very important to trust your partner. Now, obviously, trust is something that you gain and that you have to earn a little bit. But like I said at the start, I like to try to keep 100% trust with whoever I meet, or at least if I'm gonna get into a relationship with them, it's only fair that I give them the benefit of the doubt and trust them. It's a whole new person. They're nothing like whoever I've been with in the past. They deserve my trust, and I should hopefully deserve their trust. Now, if they lose that trust, that's on them. But ultimately, you have to give the benefit of doubt and give them all the trust that you have, and just hopes that they won't try to lose that or mess it up. Because if you can't trust your partner in any circumstance, then that just only creates chaos. You worrying about unnecessary things, trying to pin things on them, and it'll just tear at your relationship piece by piece. Now, communication, highly important, and a lot of people lack communication because their mind is always clouded by judgment, and it's judging their partner, trying to attack their partner, trying to be right. When you come across an issue with your partner, you have to understand that it's both of you against the issue. It's not you against your partner and trying to compete for who's right and who's wrong and who wins at the end of the day. Because if you do it like that, neither of you are winning. You're constantly putting the other person down by trying to be right and try to be superior. Now, if both of you come together, talking about it, and address the issue at hand, y'all will work through it every time. Even if it takes a little bit of time, even if the conversation does get a little bit heated and you got to come back to it, as long as you understand the end goal of working through it and staying together at the end of the day, it will not be a problem. Now, communication, you can break that down a little bit too. It's a matter of comprehension and compromise, right? Because you have to understand what your partner's saying. You can't just be listening to it and just ready to get your side out. You have to listen to it and understand it in their perspective. Because if you're just letting the words come in through one ear, not the other, just so that once they're finished, you could get your side out the way, that's not how it works. Because at that point, you are just talking. There's no communication. If you aren't both understanding each other, comprehending what each other is saying, then y'all just won't get through it. And then after you both give your statements and your sides and what both of you believe and how you see them, blah, 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 that's where the compromise comes in. Now you guys come together and find out how to work through it in a way that will both support what you want and support what your partner wants. Now, like I said, boundaries, it's simple. If you have something that you very much dislike, tell your partner that ASAP before they end up doing something that they didn't know that you dislike, and now you're mad at them for whatever reason, but you don't want to tell them, because then they're just gonna be trying to figure out what it is. The whole time you already know, but you just don't want to be upfront about it, right? So let's say you have a high despise of boy best friends or something, right? Let your partner know that. Let your partner know that you have bad history with your female partners having male friends and their male friends not knowing their boundaries and something sneaky going on the low, or just rada. Let your partner know these things so that in the chance that they maybe do have male friends or a male guy friend that is very close to them, she understands that you've had bad history. You don't like these kind of things. And as for the female friend, it's not female friend, but as for the female partner, you don't have to cut them off or anything, but just be very, very straightforward with them and keep them in the loop about everything. It is very important to keep your partner in the loop, especially if you guys are not always around each other, right? Let's say it's a long distance kind of thing, or even if it's not necessarily long distance, you guys still get to see each other every day, right? Whereas you go to school with your male friend, so you guys see each other every day. Keep them in the loop. Let them know these kind of things. Let your male friends or whatever know their place. Because, sometimes it's not that your partner doesn't trust you. It's just they don't trust the person. And that's fairly okay. They're not supposed to trust the person, essentially. You're their partner. You get the benefit of the doubt. They know you. They may not know your male friends or your female friends or whoever you hang out with. So they're not just obligated to immediately put the thumbs up to whoever you're acquainted with. And vice versa. You don't have to do the same thing for them either. But it's important to communicate these kind of things so that you don't run into any problems later down the line. Now, like I said, loyalty for me, it ties in with love. Loyalty is a no-brainer. If you're getting into a relationship where you already have commitment issues or you're not sure how loyal you could be to your partner, that's awful. This is terrible up front. If you feel like you cannot sustain a relationship for longer than however, don't do it. Because the way I see relationships, it's not something that could just be justified breaking up unless there are physical problems going on, unless it's just really not working out, some form of abuse, mental, emotional, whatever, or cheating, something along those lines. Because the way I see it, if you actually take the proper time to get into a relationship, meaning that you've seen how people are, you've had long conversations with people, talking stages or whatever, and then you hop into a relationship, you should already be at least 60%, maybe 70% aware of who you are with. Now, of course, you'll never be 100%, maybe not even 90%, because there are some people who will fake their true colors, right? And then start to show them like months or even a year into the relationship. So you could truly never fully understand who you are with. So I could understand some people thinking that they got this person whole time. It's a whole different person when you guys are actually together. And for that switch up as well, for people that think it's okay to just stop showing how much you are affectionate towards your partner, it's not. When you get your partner, you still have to keep fighting for them as if you're still trying to get them. Because you can't just get your partner and just think, oh yeah, I don't gotta try anymore. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Picture it like this. Let's say you're working hard for a car, right? You finally saved up enough money to apply for a car and everything, and the mortgages and whatever. You can't just stop there. You still gotta be paying monthly for the car, etc., etc., or like a subscription, any kind of subscription. You can't just pay the subscription and just think all said and done. No, you may have to pay weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever. You still have to put in the money, the funds, and the effort to keep it. Otherwise, at some point, it's going to go away. The minute you stop paying that subscription, it's going to go away. The minute you stop paying your car, it's going to get taken away. The minute you stop trying in the relationship that you wanted so bad when you didn't have it at first, it will go away. I feel like some people don't understand that, which, I mean, I guess, but that's what I'm telling you now, because these things are very important. Another thing to remember, too, it is the little things in relationships matter the most. And for some examples, right, let's say you have to do something for 3 hours, right? Whether it's a dentist appointment, whether you have practice, whether you gotta work, whatever. Letting your partner know in advance what you have to do before you have to actually go and do it and just disappear for the next few hours is very important. Because let's say your partner is off that day, or they had that little bit of free time and they're thinking you have free time as well, and they're trying to text you and they text you again and again, and for those whole 3 hours you're just unresponsive. Now, yes, of course, you're doing something, but it's still very important to check in with your partner first so that their mind doesn't just run wild. Because it's very normal for people like us to do that. For just anyone for that matter to do that, right? Just let your mind wander all over the place when there's no reason to you as to what they're doing, right? Because you're completely unaware. Now, obviously, they know what they're doing. They might have practice, work, whatever. But since we're not kept in a loop, right, we could be thinking whatever. Even if it's just a nap, right? It's important to probably just tell your partner, oh, I'm going to take a nap real quick. Probably be gone for like 2 hours, whatever. At least the fact that you're letting them know is very important. It's a small gesture, it's a small thing. It takes like 5-10 texts to text them that, and that's it. It's very small, but it goes a long way because it just shows how much you care. You don't want them overthinking or just sitting there worried about what's going on because you already told them what's going on or what's about to happen if you have to disappear for 3 hours, right? Or another thing, let's say you just got some big news. Let's say you got accepted into your dream college, right? And of course, you might tell some family members first, like, you know, your mom, your dad might know first, brothers, sisters, whatever. But let's say you also have some close friends and you told 4 of your closest friends first, and then you got to your significant other, you got to your partner. Now, that's not a bad thing, I guess, because, you know, priorities or however you choose to hold people, if you hold your closest friends above your significant other or whatever, right? To you, it may not be the worst thing, but even then, to your partner, it feels like they're just not the biggest priority, or that, you know, they're not the first person you go to when something does happen, which can make them worry a little bit, right? So you don't tell them about your big news or whatever. That can make them think that you don't tell them when something's going on with you, right? Let's say you are having some issues with yourself, and instead of going to your partner immediately, you go to your close friends or whoever first, and then you might come to your partner, and they might not like that. Now, I understand it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best thing either, because you're putting them second, third, maybe even last. And I would say lastly, understand that your relationship is a place of growth. You and your partner are completely two different people, and depending on how young you guys are, you still have a lot left of your life, of your own life to live. And I'm not saying that's the reason why you guys should be together. I'm saying that's the reason why you guys should be more lenient with each other in a ways of you're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to want to try some things without each other, right? Or want to do things that don't pertain to your relationship. And what I mean by that is like career based, right? Your career isn't going to be centered around your relationship. It's going to be more centered around you. And once you both decide what path you guys are going to take, that's where you guys figure out how you guys are going to make it work and conjoin those paths and see how you guys' lives are going to look further down the road. It's not a place to just lean back on your partner or completely rely on your partner or just anything like that. You gotta realize that you both are two growing people with decisions that will either benefit both of you or maybe a little bit just one of you, right? Now with that, obviously don't make the wrong decisions and just do something very selfish, but just if your partner wants to do something that they feel may benefit them, let them do it. But just don't try to make them feel bad because it's not something that aligns with what you want to do, because you guys aren't the same person. You guys got to work with it, understand it, be lenient with it, and you guys will ultimately grow together and figure things out down the line. But I'm gonna say that's gonna be all for this video. I thank each and every one of you for watching and listening. I'll see you in the next one.